Okay, so where an economy is growing quickly, this means that the GDP is also going up very quickly. Okay, this results in higher income levels within these fast-growing economies. Basically, we need to basically think at if we've got these BRIC countries that are growing quickly, okay, this also means that their GDP is going up, and it also means that the level of income, let's say in the BRIC countries, so in Russia, in China, in South Africa, and so on, are also going up. Okay, so if higher income levels are going up, this means that we have wealthier consumers, okay, or potential consumers. And this is why it's so convenient for Tesco to invest in these fast growing economies, okay? This would generate a higher demand for goods and services on a worldwide scale, as the emerging economies, such as the BRICS countries, would add up to 40%. Well, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you can also talk about the fact that since the BRIC economies are growing in terms of the economy, but also in terms of their population, as the BRIC countries grow, it's convenient for Tesco's to set its stores in those countries because the basically population in the BRICS economies would add up to 40% of the worldwide population, which means that they'll have more people that can purchase more from Tesco. Okay, so that's basically what you'll say, and they'll be also wealthier because we said that the GDP goes up and therefore income levels go up. That they will be more willing to buy goods and services from the Western world, so from stores like Tesco. Okay. Now, how do BRIC economies affect Tesco? The last thing, in a nutshell. So basically, this is just a quick summary. If Tesco was to set up stores in the BRICS economies, then this could basically come back as a really useful investment. Okay, this is because the growth of these countries would lead to them becoming more financially stable in the future, which means that in the future, if Tesco sets up its businesses in the BRICS economies, they will be able to sell a lot better there, okay, and make high profits. Then, girls, for the stock market crash, you have to have a look at this video here. Okay, so stock market crash is a rapid and often an unanticipated drop in stock prices. A stock market crash can be a side effect of a major catastrophic event, an economic crisis. Have a look at this video here for extra explanations. Okay, so what we must remember is that when you buy a stock at a price, you want to sell it for a higher price. Okay, so you buy a portion of a business. Okay, let's say I buy at like 2% of a business, okay, I want to buy that stock and I want to sell it back to a higher level, sorry, a higher price. We do not want to make a loss, okay, because if I sell it at a lower level than I bought it, then I'm making a loss in the financial kind of market. Okay, so the stock market movement can impact Tesco into, just write this, just explain what the stock market is and then just write this. Okay, the stock market movement can impact Tesco into big ways. The rise and the fall of the share prices affects the market value of Tesco because because it affects its income and its finance. The higher Tesco stocks are priced at, the higher Tesco is worth as a company, and you just leave it like that. Okay, so just write the higher basically Tesco shares are priced at, the more that company is worth. Okay, uh, if the value of the stock in prices falls, this means that the business is not getting the same level of income as before. In other words, if the stock prices fall, the business loses wealth and its individual investors. Okay, what happens to Tesco when an economy is in economic downturn? So that's basically what we're going to think of next. Think about what happens to Tesco basically when the economy is not doing well. But for your essay, girls, you just have to talk about this bit here and this bit here, and that's it. Okay. So you did your first paragraph on the BRIC economies, and then you do the second paragraph in terms of worldwide economy, global factors. Your second paragraph is going to be on the stocks. Okay. You explain what a stock is, and then you just say this, and then you say this. Okay, in your own words, of course. And then, girls, for the role of the WTO, you just have a look at these links, okay? And I basically said that for this one here, you can look it up yourselves, girls. If you can't connect it to Tesco, you just explain what the role of the WTO is, World Trade Organization is. And if you can't find a connection, just leave it there because I can't make it all for you. And that is literally the end of P5, girls. That's it, okay? This is all you need to do. Let me know if you still have questions. But I basically just need you to follow the steps that I've shown you, and then you'll be able to pass this. There's no distinction. This is the very last task of the economic environment, and then you're completely and totally done.